guys? So we're gonna be doing the install on a 2010 Tundra. As you can see, we already have an aftermarket head unit. It has a CD player, it has, you know, it's a cool head unit, but the thing is, my dad, he had this for a while now. It's on an older, older software, and he's just like, hey John, I really want Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, wired and wireless. And I was like, you know what? Let's go. You want it? I'll get it. So we're gonna be upgrading to this bad boy right here. Way bigger screen, and he says he prefers it. He likes the knobs, but look, he has steering control knobs that he primarily uses anyways. So, all right, let's get it. Now the first thing we need to do is, of course, if you have something like this, make sure the car is, excuse the rain, but it's kind of beautiful, you know. You have this nice interface, but we gotta eject this. Make sure there's no disc in here. See if he's listening to his favorite music. We don't want it. There's no disc, so we're fine. So try to use your plastic trim tools. See if you can get some leverage. Usually there's some down here. You want to be slow with this, but also, you know, you can even try to get it from right here. You see how it kind of already lifts? And then once you have a big enough gap, I would use your finger to just do the rest. And I mean, unless you want to remove the whole thing, I think a gap like this is big enough. And now we're gonna be working on this part right here. So yeah, again, just pull. Just pull. Now, I made a video on the removing the OEM, which has a little bit more screws. This one's being held more by clips. So if you guys want to check out that video, go ahead. Now remember, there was latches towards the bottom. Let's make sure we get those latches in. Yeah, it's clipped in pretty solid right here, so I'm just trying to remove that clip. Try to unplug everything in the back too. I know I don't have a best view of it for you guys, but just know there are clips back here. They're just wires. Ah, my fingers. Sometimes, you know, it just hurts doing that kind of stuff. And we're just gonna remove this clip. There's one clip down here. Come on, come on. There it is. And the unit just comes out. And you want to transfer your existing little pop clips over there. So we're gonna be transferring these clips over. Alright, to remove these OEM clips, you just kind of pull. Try to be careful. This is how I do it. And you just kind of, oh, they just shot out. But yeah, and you want to transfer these clips over to the new head unit. So you have the clip, and you pop it in at the very top right here. I'm gonna transfer it to the bottom part so it clips onto the bottom. Sometimes these clips fly out when you uninstall them, so just make sure they are in. Back of your head unit should look something like this. So what you guys want to do is you want to get that the harness we had earlier, which is right here, and this is a pre-configured harness. Sometimes you don't need it might include more than you need. So like in this case right here, it already has the antenna, so we really don't need to use this part, but other parts you do. So right here, this is going to be the main power harness, which is the 10-pin for Toyota. So you just kind of match it with Legos. You don't need an installer. You can definitely, this is plug and play, and the most difficult part is having the knowledge of each part, but this is something that you can do it yourself. Disassembling like this requires a lot of finesse, but It's definitely doable. The next thing we want to do is do the rear speakers, which is this 8-pin. Bam. And the next thing we want to do is have the steering wheel controls, which is this bad boy. Hopefully it will fit. Bam. There's another steering wheel control one. Certain Toyotas have this if you have the upgraded audio, so it's usually included. Again, we also have this, which is the antenna, which we already have. So let's just tuck this back in here. Now there's more accessories you can get with this, but we're not going to deal with that right now. We're just going to make sure the unit works. So we're going to plug it in. So there's the back of this right here. We're going to plug it into there. You should hear a nice solid click, and voila. And let me just kind of get it dry fitted right now. Just a little bit. And we're going to turn it on, see if it works. Make sure you're not in here. Oh, nice, it's working. So let's see if you guys can get the angle. We have the Toyota loading up. All right, so this is a really good sign. The unit is working power wise, which is a big step. So you know things are working well, the unit's not dead and stuff like that. So it's gonna be loading Android for the first time. And you have this interface right here. Oh, clicking the button. Okay, I might have to just remove this. I'm just gonna remove it. Oh, I'm gonna risk the scratches for you guys. Very satisfying. So you heard the sounds too, which is great. Here are the applications that it comes with. You can also plug in the radio if it's long enough. Well, you can test it. I'm gonna plug it in, that way I can check out the audio. So I have the radio FM plugged in. Let's turn it down a little bit. All the way off for now, just in case I don't have that shock. So here in Sacramento, we have 101. Let's do 102.5. I like that. Decent, I like hip hop and stuff. There you go. And you can see it has the meta tag, so it is working. We got Now Playing Life is Good by featuring Drake. That's awesome. So another thing that you guys want to do is you can do more than install, but I'm gonna just check the fitment real quick. Sometimes different variants like the Sequoia, the Tundra 2010. Toyota changes it very slightly, so I just want to make sure it fits. So let's get this thing powered off. So you get this baggie full of the accessories. So we're gonna open it up and see what's good. Now the first thing I usually like to do is I like to do the Wi-Fi, because that thing's like a short stubby antenna that's kind of easily to lose. So you want to have this bad boy over here. Just screw it clockwise. Make sure you don't cross thread anything. Whoop. Very snug, beautiful. The next thing you want to do, the GPS antenna. Now you can have this GPS antenna anywhere. If you use Apple Carplay and stuff like that, you're not going to even be using this GPS antenna, but if you use the built-in GPS in this, I usually just have it like right on top here. It's perfectly functional for me, so that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to make sure it's nice and snug, and then I'm going to plop the bad boy on top. Now I don't want it too sticky, just in case I do want to remove, so I'm just gonna make it a little bit less stickier. And then I'm gonna put it right here at the top. Now you can put it on top of your dash and stuff like that, but in my case, I never had to do that. I mean, your cell phone doesn't have a huge antenna sticking out, right? And then we have more accessories like the microphone. This is for the front, like if you have a subwoofer, which my Tundra does not, and then the backup camera if you want to have a backup camera. So this camera does not have that. You can do that aftermarket, but I'm not going to be doing that in this video today. USBs, that's important. I'm going to have this fish through the glove box in case he wants to charge some USBs. And that's going to be plugged in right here. And that's pretty much all the accessories besides the microphone. You also get another USB, so you get one right here, and then you get another one. So you get a total of 3 more USBs, which is great. This one's a pretty chunky guy, so. Bam, 3 USB upgrades. And for the microphone, you can get clever on how you want to wire this, but this is how I'm going to wire it. So I like it usually having it, I usually like having it right here. So just try to get like a towel or something and wipe that area. Make sure it's not dusty, and then just stick it right here. It usually picks up the sound good enough, and it's hidden well enough where it doesn't look ugly. But to plug in that, it's gonna be right here. Let's see if I can focus. Yeah, so it's gonna be plugged in right there. So we just gotta get kind of creative and fish this over. I'm gonna try to tuck it behind this trim piece, which is gonna be the hard part, because it's really tight right here. Come on. Come on. You can also move the steering wheel down. Give it a little more clearance. And you just kind of just fish it through. Just trying to fish it through this area. If it can fish through, or you can just put it like this. And then I'm gonna wrap it around this harness, just so it's kind of like secured a little bit. One more wrap should be good enough. And bam. So we have most of the wirings ready, and yeah, you just gotta plug it in now. You want to plug in everything here, but let's see if we can fish these USB cables somewhere a little bit more useful with the glove box. Sometimes glove blocks are fully enclosed, depending on the car. And this seems like one of the cars where it's fully enclosed. So you gotta decide where you're gonna route these USBs. Sometimes the owner doesn't even use USBs, but you gotta route it. I'm gonna try to route it through here to the steering wheel area. Here, and just try to get lower. All right. So I'm gonna plug in the rest of the harnesses and adapters, and we should be good to go here. Really, it's just the main power harness, which is right here, and then we have the radio antenna. So the next thing I want to do is, notice how I'm missing one trim piece. Unfortunately, I just don't have it, so Should be, the fitment should still be good, but you can always buy these trim pieces anywhere, and you'll be fine. But yeah, so fish all these wires back here. Now what you can do is, because these USB cables are pretty thick, and I think I just talked to the owner and he doesn't really want them, you can just zip tie it together and you know, manage it a little bit better. There's a lot of harnesses. I'm just gonna have it so it's like this. So if he ever needs to have the USBs, like it's there. And the rest of these harnesses, there's like 1,000 cables. We all know that, okay? But it's manageable. That's why the singleton's nice. I mean, everything is actually already wired really nicely because it came with a pre-made harness. So like even the OEM harness just looks like just crazy. But yeah, so you want to kind of fit that through here, get this microphone. But the thing is, this is just going to be a test fit because you want the AC unit in first, and then you kind of clamp it down. I just want to make sure it has good clearance right here. It does. So it does fit right there, and that's great. Let me guys show you guys the fitment up top. It's actually really good. Now you want it kind of sticking out a little bit because the reason why you want that to look is because when you're sitting right here, you want the screen to be pointing at you a little bit, and you want it to kind of go up a little bit. You don't want this thing to be shooting the sky and have it the same contour as the truck. So having it a little bit, like you can kind of see it's already like this right here. It's like kind of flush right here, but towards the top it kind of wraps around. You see this curve right here? It wraps around so you can actually see the unit instead of having your passengers see the unit. You're the more important person to have it, so that's Gucci goo. Now the next thing is I'm gonna take it out real quick, and we wanna, you can have a towel right there if you guys are pretty careful with your interior. Now you want to let this part is a really pain, so you want to make sure you match this to have the best fitment down here. Having better fitment down here will save you a lot of headache, and it's literally just these clips, so you don't really have much of a choice. It's just these plastic clips. I'm gonna pull this out a little bit so you can have more clearance right here. And then somehow this thing will. It's not a really good design by Toyota, to be honest. Okay, so that's looking good. Check the fitment right there. You want it to have flush with no gaps right there. Obviously. Next part is it's like the order of operations, but backwards. So you want to get this in. Remember, these two hooks go in first. Tuck these wires as much as you can. Make sure your GPS antenna clears and your Wi-Fi antenna clears. That's important. Then see, the part is when you have the snug right here, you gotta make sure it stays tight right there. Give it a few slaps. It should clip in real good. Make sure the vent stays clipped in. And then give it a few slaps, like because there's no bolts. Give it a nice wipe with your hand. Wow, that looking good, my boys. Look at that. Look, this is a 2010.